Who is the Paintress in Clair Obscur Expedition 33? Her real name being Eileen, she is the matriarch of a family whom are all skilled painters. Being a painter means that they would be equivalent to godlike beings, with the ability to both create and take away worlds and life within canvases. The life that they can create, when skilled and strong enough, is not just one-dimensional, but actual intelligent, sentient beings with their own memories, thoughts, and personalities. With the death of her son, Verso, the Paintress fell into terrible grief. In an effort to escape her reality of continuing life without her son being alive, she chose to favor diving into delusion, and she sought refuge from her pain in one of the canvases that Verso, her late son, had painted when he was a child. Part of Verso's soul still remains within this canvas, as it is widely understood, even in the real world, that part of an artist's personality and what makes them unique is displayed within their work, and she wants to remain close to him however she can. Along with part of Verso's soul, those that he had painted on his canvas when he was a child have continued on living and grown up since originally being created. With a new reality to settle into, the grief-stricken mother used her pain and suffering and started adding to Verso's canvas not only with new people, but to recreate and make new copies of her entire family, including Verso, and made the location of Lumiere so all of her creations can have a place to continue growing and living out their lives going forward, and she can try to regain any resemblance of her former happiness back. Her thought process being that it would be better to create a new life within this delusion where she could get a sense of the reality that she desires by giving up her true reality that she came from that caused her so much pain. This way, she doesn't have to come to terms with and accept her undeniable, unavoidable truth. Though being portrayed as the game's main villain, she is a sympathetic grieving mother being torn to pieces at the pain of losing her child. However, with how far that she has fallen into her own delusion of what reality actually is, by inhabiting Verso's canvas and continuing her life within this fantasy as it is her form of escapism, she was bringing her misery and problems onto those that had already lived within the canvas. And this was shown and eventually would only make things worse when Eileen's husband, Renoir, wants to destroy the canvas, including all of the sentient beings within it, regardless of whom created them. Renoir dealt with his grief by trying to control how others dealt with their own grief, and wanted Eileen to come back to their true reality where Verso had died, to no longer indulge herself in a fantasy and continue living a lie. But she refused. They ended up fighting to a point of a standstill. However, due to the effect of her grieving, with how it started withering her away physically and mentally, and not having access to enough chroma, a source of power for painters, she is slowly losing power and control to hold Renoir back, thus yearly no longer being able to continue saving the oldest of the inhabitants within the canvas, leading to the start of the game.